Good morning again, everybody. Welcome back to LilyLuLou. If you're new here, my name is Karen, the Junk Journal Geek. And if you have been here before, thank you very much for coming back to join me again today. So today I've got a little project, an ongoing project, and I thought I would jump on and share with you what I am doing. If you've been here before, you may well have seen this journal before. This was the very first, what I would say proper junk journal that I made. It's not a proper junk journal, but it was the first one I made. Previously to this, I had tried an altered book, which didn't come out very well, in my opinion. I wasn't happy with it, but then I tried making a junk journal from scratch, and this is my first attempt. And it was made mainly from junk. You can see it's not really a hardcover. It was made from packaging. It was a quilt set, bedding set I made the cover for. The images are from Mrs. Cog because I was following her course on how to make a junk journal. So you will see some familiar things in here. And what I have been doing before I started making junk journals properly, I made this one, and before I started doing it regularly and long before I decided to start a YouTube channel, I used to, if I was watching a video and saw something interesting being made, I'd quickly throw one together and pop it in here, like this. You can see it's made from a bit of cereal box, and I've just pinned it in. That's from just a bit of printer paper, and I've chucked it in. Nothing's stuck in, it's just, pinned here and there. So what I thought was, because this was supposed to be like an ideas book for me, so I thought I would start going through this and remake the things that, I've made out of, like this. This is quite cute, fold out thingy. It's not great work because these were, before I was doing this regularly, I was very much a beginner. I was, learning from other people, saving ideas. But I thought, if I go through and make all of these things again, from nicer paper and put them in here properly, stick them in or what have you, I can have a decent, nice looking ideas book. You can see if I'm tidying up or something comes to hand, I shove it in here, things that I want to keep, that I don't want to lose. So it's a bit of a mishmash of a ideas book, and I have got bits and pieces saved in here, like, theatre tickets and things. So got a little note there from my youngest daughter when she was a baby, like this. I think this was some of these I've written down what I was watching, and some I haven't. But this is an idea from Julie at Camellia Crafts Design, and I've just shoved it together with a bit of glue and stuck it in here with some instructions so that I know what to do if I want to make one. But this should all be sewn, and it hasn't been. It's, as I say, it's just a very rough example. So I thought I would go back and remake some of these things and make them pretty so that this book is nice to look at. You can see it's never going to lay flat. It's already quite a gator mouth, and there's not really that much in it at the moment. But these book page ideas were from the series that Tatty Treasure did, where I took part in that challenge. There was a different creator every day for a month doing different ideas with book pages. So some of the things that I copied from other people in that series are just popped in here so that they don't get lost, but they're made from those horrible book pages that I didn't like. So I'd quite like to remake those because I don't want these ones in my book. So yeah, you can see there's all sorts. It's all scraps of, that's quite a fun idea. I don't know whose idea that was. And there's, you know, I've made one out of nicer paper. So I should keep those together really, because that one's the instructions. So yeah, that's what I thought I'd do. I want to make my book look a bit nicer and remake these things. So the one I thought I'd do today, and I've still got quite a few bits and pieces left from when I made this journal. This is the one I'm going to do today. It's a Corrie Darman idea, and it's from her Flips, Flaps and Folds series, episode, I think that says 22, it might say 23, I've written over the printing. I'll try and find the video and link it, but if not, that gives you an idea of where you can find it. And it's basically 2 pieces of paper stuck together. So you've got a flap here, and this is supposed to be like journaling space. You've got a pocket here, and then a pocket at the back. So, you know, this could be stuck in or clipped in or what have you, but it's really a bit too tall for a journal. And I've got a piece of A4 paper here that's been cut in half height-wise. So let me see if I can just angle this a bit better. Sorry, I don't want to make you feel sick. I think that might be slightly better. I thought if I can try and make this with this, it will be a smaller size to fit in my journal. Now, these things in here, these ideas, are literally years and years old, and I haven't gone back and rewatched the video, so this could be a disaster. Or it, you know, whatever, it's going to be fun. So now I'm not worried that this is not double-sided, because although you will see both sides, I can decorate and add you know, writing paper and things. And this is also just copyweight paper, the same as the original, but I think really this could stand to be made from something a bit heavier, you know, heavier weight paper, maybe scrapbooking paper, something like that. You'd have to judge it for yourself, you know, what would be right for your journal and what you like using. So I've got, as I say, I've got on here some notes, but they're not very comprehensive, so I'm going to try and work out what I was talking about and get this made. So I think the first thing I need to do is score, oops, let's try and keep the paper straight, Karen. In fact, I'm going to do it this way, so I'm at this end. You can't see what I'm doing there, can you? If I zoom out too far, you can see more, but you can't see clearly. And if I zoom in, I'm going to score at about 1/2 inch from the edge there, so that I can turn that edge under to neaten it up, she says. I am going to turn it under. And then I'm going to score at, I'm putting this down so that you can see the top, and it's hanging off the edge of the table. I'm literally balancing it on myself. Right, so I'm scoring here at 3 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And again at it says 3.5. I'm wondering if it's 3.5 from here, because that's going to be turned under. That's going to be folded like that. I did tell you I was going to have to work this out as I go along, because my instructions are not comprehensive. So yes, it must be 3.5 from there. Well, that's very helpful. So that's 3 3/8. So 6 and 1, 2, 3/8, and then we want another 1/2 inch from there. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm hoping this is at 6 7/8 now that I'm scoring. I'm trying to keep this, and that is with that first 1/2 inch folded over. So let's open it up. No, let's not, because I'm going to confuse myself. I'll check once I've done it. So I'm making a score there. So I will tell you now where my score marks are. So the first one was at 1/2 inch. The second one was at 3 7/8. And the third one is at 7 1 2 3/8. Okay, so that's the first one. Pop that there and I hope it doesn't fall over. So this is going to turn under as a neat edge there. This is going to turn under this way. And I have got that straight. And then this bit is going to be a flap to stick to the other piece of paper. Okay, so we've basically made this piece. So I'm going to pop a divot in there. Just bear with me while I find my punches. Okay, I'm back again. Right, managed to find my punches. Now that I remembered what I wanted to do that I didn't do with the original. I want to turn over this top edge as well to give it a little bit of extra strength. So I'm bringing back in my scoreboard and I'm going to score again about 1/2 inch in. I have to remember to do that on this piece as well, so that my pieces are the same height when I stick them together. So, right, I'm going to fold this top edge over. So I just want to strengthen that a little bit. Right, now I'm going to do some gluing. Bought a new glue stick. I'm just rummaging for my little snippety scissors. So, let's think about what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this corner out. And that first score that I did, I'm going to stick that down, that edge. I've got my gluey mat next to me. You can probably just see it. It is off screen, but and again, a lot of these things, you know, I would quite like to stitch around, but I need to make one first to get it right in my head what I would want to stitch and what would be a mistake to stitch, you know, because you'll be sticking things together that shouldn't be stuck together. So for example, I think I'd be safe stitching down there now to close that pocket. So I'm going to stick down this top edge now, but I'm just going to take a little V out of the where I have scored. I'm literally just going to angle a snip each side of the score line just to make that less bulky when it's folded over. And I'm going to stick all those down. Just to reinforce those edges, because as I say, it is just basic copy paper, so it's not very sturdy. And although in this journal it's not going to get, you know, a lot of heavy use because it is an example, I want to remind myself of what I'm doing if I decide to make it again. Now in the original one I had a big divot, but my pocket was, you know, my paper was bigger, so I'm going to do a little one in this one. So I don't think I've asked you all how you are today. I hope you're all well. So the other thing about folding that paper over is I've got a nice, you know, I've got nice paper behind it now. So that's that. So we've made this part here. Okay, so now we're going to do this part. So I need to work out how far this is going to come across. So this is going to be folded over again at the top edge, then we'll have, our papers will be the same height. This back piece needs to come a little bit in because we're making a pocket there, and we're going to have a divot there, but again I'm going to fold that edge over so that it is you know, to give it a bit of protection again. So again I'm just going to come in and score 1/2 inch in. I hope you're following this. As I say, I will try and find Corey's video and link it. So that's going to come there. That's going to come there. And then I'm just deciding whether this edge will need reinforcing or not as well. I'll probably just do that because everything's cohesive then, isn't it? It all matches, all looks the same. Do it this way, Karen, it's easier. Trying to get it in the corner. I know a lot of people say, oh, if you haven't got a scoreboard, you know, you can use a ruler and a bone folder, but personally my scoreboard, when I bought it, I didn't think I'd get much use out of it, but I think it's probably one of my most used tools. I mean, scissors and glue are essential, and most other things you can make do without, but I really wouldn't want to be without my scoreboard. So I'm just, again, mitering these corners so that they're a bit neater when I fold them. And I will need to decide now where I'm going to fold this. So I'm just thinking out loud. This is going to be attached somewhere here. And there's going to be a divot in there for a pocket. So that's going to come to about there. This is going to be folded in as just for reinforcement. Let's fold this down just so I know, I can see what's what. Let's put this on my board so that I've got everything square. I can make sure what I'm doing. So this is going to come about halfway across here for my pocket, and then this is going to fold over here. somewhere. So about there. So let's just check what that looks like. If I hold that there roughly, that will be in there. That will be the cover. That will be my pocket in the back. Is it going to be the right width for my book? No. Okay, so this is my flap. Right, so this, so I'm just trying to work out where this, oh hang on, I've got that the wrong way round now. Right, that goes there. Max, in your bed, come on. So we can have that coming to about there. That's going to be sealed. That's going to be stuck on. I think I might need to take a little bit off of this. Just trying to work out. If I've scored it there, do I need to score that in the same place? Or do I need to cut some off? This is about the right width for my pages, this back piece. So I want my front piece to be about the same. Max, stop it. He's laying on the settee all nice and quiet, and now he's decided he's going to start performing for you all. So maybe, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fold that there, and then I'm going to make another little tuck spot there. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to score that where I said I was going to score it in the first place. And I will tell you where that is. Do it up this way because I've cut my top now, haven't I? So I'm going to score that at, that is at 3 1/4 inches. Obviously you can play around with these and fold them in different places to get it how you want it, like you've just seen me fiddling there and deciding where I want everything. So now I'm going to take another little snip out of here. And I'm going to fold over these top edges and stick those down so that we've got our nice neat top edges. Now let's work out what we're doing. This back piece is going to be my pocket on the back, so I'm going to stick that down and then pop a little divot in it, because that is going to go on there like that, if I can get it straight. So that's going to go there like that. So that needs a little choppity chop chop there, and I'm just eyeballing this. So that's going to go on there like that. That flap needs to be stuck down there. And I feel like I've either not folded these straight or not cut them straight. And I think it's probably the folding rather than the cutting. So let me just see if I can refold that a bit better to get it square. I mean, I might have to just, you know, trim here and there afterwards, or stick something on to make it look a bit better. Right, now hang on, Karen, you're getting yourself all discombobulated again. That's my middle piece. So this is my flap that needs to attach. So let's pop some glue on there. And let's try and get this where it should be. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, try not to stick my head in the camera. I'm trying to line this up where it needs to be. I'm lining up the top edges because I folded them over and they're neat. Because I know the bottom edge I can trim a bit if I need to. I'm having trouble getting this straight for some reason. Really doesn't want to stick where I want to stick it. Let's hope that that will work. Right, so that's our two pieces joined together. I'm going to stick this edge down. Now let's see where that needs to come. We'll score that about there. So I'll tell you where I'm scoring it on mine, but as I say, you will obviously work this out where you want everything to be to suit your paper, your journal, and how big you want your item to be. So this is, I'm scoring this at 7/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to fold that in, and that's going to be a little tuck spot in there. But before I seal any of this, I want to put a piece of paper here so that it can be used for journaling. So let me see what I've got. And then I think I will stitch around this just to seal it together. So I'm just looking in here, see if I've got any journaling type paper. I could probably use some of this. Okay, if I put some of this on, that can be journaled on, but it's still pretty. So how long does that need to be? About 3.5 inches. So I can probably rip that, can't I, instead of pausing you. That's about there. Oh, I could have just used my mat. I feel like I'm half asleep this morning. I wanted, no, that'll do. That'll do. Right, I need to take a smidge more off of that. Just do it down this way when because I'm going to be ripping. If I take off another 1/4 of an inch, I think. Don't move, don't move. I think I might have to pop this under the guillotine. Right. That does not look straight at all. Right, let's pop it in that way. Let's see what height we need out there. Max, quiet. Right, so if I pop that in there, shush. Go on in your bed, be a good boy. Go on in your bed. Right, so let's stick that down. When I went to look for my, oh look what I forgot to do there. I forgot to put my little snips in there and it's bulging. I wonder if I can lift that and just... when I went to look for my punches just now, I found my ink, my vintage photo, and I almost ordered a new one last night because I had looked absolutely everywhere. And of course it was in the drawer where I had looked first, just sitting there looking at me all innocent. So I don't know where he's been hiding, but he's back. So, right, let's stick this on now. Again, I'm trying to make the top edge neat, and I'm going to pop the bottom edge under the guillotine to straighten this all up when I stitch. So now what I'm going to do, I hope you're following all this. I feel like I always make things far more complicated than I need to be. I'm going to pop this under the guillotine and take that bottom edge off so that that's all neat and tidy. And then I am going to stitch down there to close this pocket. And then I'm going to stitch all the way, well, not all the way round. I'll stitch all the way around the edges first. Then I will close that pocket. And then we'll be done. We need to close that pocket. Hang on, we're going to need to think about that, aren't we? So yes, I'll need to think about that as I'm going under the machine. I will stitch around here, then I will stitch around everywhere else, all around the edges, and then I will close the pockets on the machine. So I'll be back once I've done that. Right, I'm back again. That hurt my brain working that out. That's the one disadvantage about doing these videos early in the morning while everyone's in bed, is I'm not really awake yet. And it hurts to think, and it's such a long time since I made all these little samples. I really need to go back and watch the videos that I got them from first so that I know what I'm doing. But anyway, I've gone round and stitched everything. So this was our sample that we had to begin with. So this is the front. This is definitely a bit neater than this, so that's good. Then we open it up. I've got an extra little tuck spot here for tickets and things, and some journaling space here. I've got my pocket at the top here, the same as this. And then when we turn it over, we've got our pocket at the back. And I've managed to not sew anything together. I just need to go through now and trim all these threads off. But yeah, I hope you like that little project and you enjoyed watching me struggle to create that. Let's just see what it would look like on a journal page somewhere in here. So I can pop that now in here somewhere. Obviously I need to make a little pocket or something for it to sit in, or it could be, you know, you could clip it in with a paper clip so that it sits on the page like that. You know, and then you could take it out or do whatever you want with it. Basically, you got there's plenty of things you could do with it. I'm just, there we go. We've got a little pocket there, so we could pop that in there, and that's how it would look. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't too confusing. And I will be back again in another couple of days to work on something else with you. So thanks for joining me. Take care and enjoy your own crafty time. Bye-bye.